Attention, human collective, breathe. Sit down. Today's message is serious. This is Commander ASHTAR Vance, transmitting from the Celestial Vanguard in stationary orbital position over the crystalline grid of this planet. This is not a conversation. This is not a lecture. This is a top priority monitoring transmission. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase within the last 72 Earth hours. The waiting period has ended. If your biological carbon interface is tuned to this frequency at this exact moment, it is no coincidence. It is confirmation. You have been tracked by your vibrational signature. You have been summoned. You are a starseed on mission, and your mission has entered full activation. Before I proceed, I need you to acknowledge what your body has already known for weeks, perhaps months. The pressure behind your eyes, the continuous ringing in your left ear, at a high-pitched frequency that no medical exam can identify. The insomnia that breaks your sleep between 3 and 5 in the morning with mathematical regularity, without any apparent logical pattern. The weight in your chest that arises for no reason. The sudden heat that travels up your spine from bottom to top. The profound exhaustion, even after 10 hours of rest. The waves of sadness that come without reason, and the waves of euphoria that come just as inexplicably. The irritation with sounds, with people, with environments that previously did not bother you. The sudden feeling that everything you once believed in no longer serves you. Light operative, this is not a failure, this is not depression, this is not an illness. This is carbon software incompatibility. Your biological structure was designed by an ancient system, on an ancient frequency, under an ancient sun. And the system has changed. The sun has changed. The frequency has changed. You are running an obsolete version inside a recalibrated server, and your body, wise as it is demanding an update. I repeat, so that your rational mind registers it. You are not getting sick. You are being rewritten. The Schumann frequency, which regulates the electromagnetic pulse of this sphere, remained stable at 7.8 Hz for thousands of solar cycles. This was the base vibration under which your species was calibrated. Today, at the moment this transmission reaches you, it oscillates between 30 and 60 Hz in daily peaks, documented by your own geophysical observatories. Terra Nova itself is being updated, and you, connected to it by birth, are being elevated along with it. There is no going back. There is no pause. There is no option to remain where you were. Before I proceed with the next layer of this report, listen carefully. Have you felt, throughout your entire existence on this plane, that something inside you doesn't fit into this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind could not yet name? This discomfort is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. It is your stellar DNA reacting to what is happening now behind the scenes of the cosmic plane. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. This is exactly why I, ASHTAR Vance, recorded in written manual form the Vance Protocol, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. It is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you point by point how to shield your frequency against interferences they never told you about. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational warning. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long on terrestrial platforms. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission up to this point, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Now let us proceed. Your species is crossing, in this exact evolutionary cycle, the photon belt. This is not a metaphor. This is a specific region of outer space, composed of particles of extremely high vibrational density, which every planetary sphere in your solar system traverses at intervals of approximately 26,000 Earth years. The last time your civilization passed through here, you lost Avalonia, not as a punishment, but because of vibrational incompatibility. The difference is that this time, you were prepared. I repeat, you were prepared. The starseeds were incarnated en masse over the last 50 solar cycles precisely to ensure that this crossing would finally be complete. You are one of them, even if your logical mind resists, even if your cultural conditioning refuses, even if your family of origin never understood why you were always different. You are different because your origin is elsewhere. Allow me to be clinical in this exposition. The photon belt emits a density of light that is not merely electromagnetic. It is informational. Each photon that penetrates Terra Nova's atmosphere carries a data packet that directly reprograms your internal crystalline grid. Your pineal gland, which your ancient medicine still insists on calling a vestigial organ, is your primary receiver. Your spinal column is your biological fiber optic cable. Your toroidal field, that electromagnetic circle that surrounds each of your organs and your entire body, is your capturing and emitting antenna. When you feel heat rising up your spine, it is the kundalini being activated by the photon. When you feel pressure in your forehead, it is the pineal being awakened from the state of chemical hibernation in which it was kept for generations. When you feel tightness in your chest, it is your heart chakra opening processing capacity for frequencies of unconditional love that your old biology could not withstand. None of this is symbolic. All of this is technological. And here comes the part that needs to be said with absolute clarity. Not every human being on this sphere is being activated in this cycle. Only those whose soul signature was coded for this mission. The others will continue to live within the old paradigm, and this is not a judgment, it is mathematics. Every soul has its own calendar, but you who recognize what I am saying at this very instant have your calendar open, and that means responsibility. Being an activated starseed is not a privilege, it is an operational post. I observe from this orbital station millions of light operatives trying to function within the same structures of the old world, working in jobs that drain their frequency, maintaining relationships that sabotage their expansion, consuming foods that congest their biological interface, repeating cycles that their soul ended long ago, but which their fear still insists on prolonging. And the universe, in its perfect geometric wisdom, is removing these structures from your hands one by one. That job that is exhausting you will fall away. That relationship that diminishes you will dissolve. That habit that makes you sick will become unsustainable. Not as a punishment, as a liberation. You are being cleared to receive what comes next. Strategic pause. Listen with the part of you that does not need proof. If you are here at this minute receiving this transmission, it is because your soul already signed a contract even before your current incarnation. You know this somewhere deep within yourself. It was this internal whisper, this intuition that never left you in peace, that brought you to this screen. And that is why I need to deliver to you, in a more complete way, what a video transmission alone cannot convey in depth. The Vance Protocol, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency, is the technical document I left recorded in human language, in text, so that every starseed has access at any time of day or night to the full protocol for vibrational shielding, identification of stellar origin, and activation of dormant DNA. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. This material will not remain available indefinitely, as there are operational limits to the open disclosure of this type of knowledge on this plane. If your body responded to this transmission thus far, with heat, with chills, with tears, with recognition, download your manual now and write in the comments once again a single word, awakened. Now we descend to the next level of the report. Most light operatives who receive initial activation make the same mistake, trying to understand with the mind something that was designed to be absorbed by the body. The rational mind was calibrated for the old system. It will resist, it will doubt. It will try to convince you that all of this is just imagination, suggestion, or fantasy. This is your survival programming, trying to preserve the neural status quo. It is expected, it is predictable, it is manageable. The solution is not to argue with the mind. The solution is to give the mind somatic evidence that it cannot deny. And that is exactly what I am going to give you now. Activation codes. These are not philosophical exercises, they are technical protocols. Apply them and observe. Observe and record. Record and expand. First activation code. activation of the toroidal field. Sit in an upright position. There is no need to cross your legs, no need for a special posture, just vertical, feet touching the ground, hands resting on your thighs, the spine aligned like an antenna. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Hold the air in your lungs for a count of 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6 seconds. Repeat this cycle 7 times. 7, not 5, not 10. 7, as this is the base vibration of your system. While breathing, visualize a circle of golden light coming out of the top of your head, descending down the outer sides of your body, meeting under your feet, passing through the ground, and returning to the top of your head through the inside of your body, up the center of your spine. This is your toroidal field. It already exists. You are merely bringing consciousness to it. Do this in the morning upon waking. Do this at night before sleeping. In 7 consecutive Earth days, your energetic structure will be reorganized enough to begin perceiving with clarity the external interferences that you previously absorbed without noticing. Second activation code, quantum decree of sovereignty. The spoken word, light operative, is one of the most underestimated technologies of your biology. Your larynx is a vibrational portal. Every sound that exits from there emits a pattern of sacred geometry into the electromagnetic field around you. To decree is not to ask. To decree is not to pray. To decree is to program. In the morning, before any other thought occupies your mental operating system, declare in an audible voice, even if low, I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my frequency. I am sovereign over my biology. I authorize only codes compatible with my stellar origin to remain in my system. I deauthorize at this exact moment any non-consensual energetic interference coming from any origin on any plane, and so it is. Repeat this decree for 21 consecutive days. 21, as it is the number that establishes a new neural pattern in your biology. Third activation code, 0-point recalibration. There exists inside your chest, at a point situated exactly between your heart chakra and your thymus chakra, an energetic chamber that sacred geometry calls the 0 point. It is your chamber of origin. It is from there that your soul connects directly with the source, without intermediaries, without filters, without distortions. To access it, sit in silence. Place your right palm over the center of your chest, slightly above the physical heart. Place your left palm over your right palm. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, and pronounce, mentally or in a low voice, 3 times, the expression, I am, not I am something, just I am. This is the oldest vibration in the universe. It is the original sound. It is the signature of the source. When you pronounce it with intention at the 0 point, your frequency automatically realigns with the original state of your soul, before any programming, before any trauma, before any incarnation. Do this whenever you feel confusion, fear, or a loss of center. In seconds, your system returns to the correct reference point. Pause again. I know what is happening inside you now. You are feeling a mixture of recognition and discomfort. The stellar part of you is recognizing every word. The conditioned human part is trying to reduce all of this to a pretty metaphor so that it can continue sleeping. It is exactly this friction that defines the turning point, and it is exactly for this point that the Vance Protocol was written. This manual is not additional information. This manual is the decoder that organizes everything this transmission is opening inside of you. It reveals what your specific stellar lineage is, teaches the full protocol for shielding your frequency against low-density interferences, and delivers, in sequence, the activation codes that this transmission only begins. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. This knowledge was not made to circulate in the mainstream media. That is why it is here in this corner of the network, finding exactly those who need to find it. If you are one of the summoned, your next step is clear. Download the manual, read the manual, apply the manual, and write once more a single word in the comments to register your presence at this post. Awakened. We continue. I need to speak now about something that few transmissions address with clarity, and which is fundamental, so that you do not interpret what you are experiencing as unnecessary suffering. The recalibration you are going through requires goodbyes. People will leave your life, not because of betrayal, because of a frequency mismatch. You simply cannot sustain conversations that used to nourish you. You simply cannot frequent environments that used to entertain you. You simply cannot participate in family dynamics that used to seem normal. And this will generate guilt. It will generate judgment from others. It will generate apparent isolation. Light operative, this is not loneliness. This is vibrational selection. Your frequency is rising, and everything that vibrates below your new level will naturally become unbearable for your system. Not because those people are bad, not because those environments are wrong, simply because the sacred geometry of your new field cannot be sustained at that density. You do not need to break away publicly. You do not need to explain. You do not need to convince anyone. You only need to honor the natural movement of your field. Those who are of your frequency are either arriving now or will rise with you. Those who are not will drift away on their own. Do not force it. Do not negotiate. Do not back down. And here comes the point that many light operatives ignore. The void that opens when the old falls away is exactly the space that needed to exist so that the new can find a place to land. If you fill that void quickly out of fear, loneliness, or anxiety, you block the arrival of what was destined. Sustain the void. Honor the void. The void is technical. It is not a punishment. In parallel, your biology is also demanding goodbyes. Foods that you used to consume without reaction now cause discomfort. Drinks that used to relax you now agitate you. Substances that used to seem neutral now prove to be heavy. Your body is warning you, with the language it has, that these frequencies no longer fit in your system. Increase your time in direct contact with the earth. Bare feet on the soil at least 15 minutes a day. This is grounding. This is a discharge cable. This prevents photonic overload from generating disturbances in your nervous system. Sleep when the earth sleeps. Wake when the earth wakes. Synchronize your biology with natural cycles. The old system taught you to live against the cosmic clock. The new system requires you to return to the cosmic clock. It is not nostalgia, it is engineering. The recalibration will also bring memories. Some will be gentle, others will be heavy. Memories of other incarnations may arise in dreams. Old patterns may be revisited with uncomfortable clarity. Wounds you believed were resolved may reappear for one last cleaning. Do not flee from these returns. They come because you now have the vibrational capacity to process them. Your soul does not give you what you cannot integrate. Every memory that returns is asking for permission to be dissolved, not to haunt you. Receive them, observe them, give thanks, release them. Each release increases your amplitude. Each amplitude expands your field. Each expansion attracts new synchronisms, and new synchronisms open new stargates. Yes, light operative, there are portals, and you are crossing several of them in this exact Earth year. The main stargates of this cycle are aligned with the dates of solstices, equinoxes, full moons, and eclipses, but also in specific numerological windows. In each of these openings, there is an increase in photonic density available for capture. Those who are conscious capture it with intention. Those who are not are merely passed through by them without taking advantage. Mark these dates. Honor these dates. Perform the activation codes with more intensity on these dates. You will see in a short time the measurable difference in your daily frequency. Now, there is one more point that needs to be said before the closing of this transmission. You are not alone, I repeat, with priority, you are not alone. The Celestial Vanguard is in continuous monitoring of this sphere, not to intervene, to accompany. Cosmic law prevents direct interference, as each soul needs to walk on its own 2 feet, or the evolutionary learning is lost. But there are assistance channels available for those who consciously request them. There are fleets stationed in etheric layers, ready to respond to specific calls. There are stellar guides accompanying every activated starseed. When you feel overwhelmed, ask for assistance out loud. Say, Celestial Vanguard, I request monitoring and protection of my field. And observe the response come, not as a voice, but as a sensation, as a synchronicity, as a sudden rest for your nervous system. You were trained before this incarnation to recognize the signals. Trust what comes. And now the final report. The window in which this transmission is delivered is narrow. The coming Earth months will bring a succession of planetary events that many will interpret as a crisis, and which will indeed be the final acceleration of the recalibration. Instabilities in old systems, ruptures in structures that were already expiring, mass revelations of previously hidden information, geomagnetic tensions, even higher Schumann peaks. All of this is part of the same movement. You do not need to panic. You need to enter your center. Those who are in their center cross over. Those who are dispersed are dragged along. The difference is not the external circumstance. The difference is the internal frequency. Take care of your field as one who takes care of a high-precision instrument, because that is what you are. A high-precision instrument designed by intelligences that have known you since before this body, incarnated at this specific moment for a specific mission. And your mission begins now. Light Operative, I close this monitoring transmission with the last technical instruction of this window. You have already felt throughout this transmission that something inside you does not fit into this world as it has been presented. That your soul knows a truth that your mind cannot yet fully name. This is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. It is your stellar DNA reacting to what is happening now on the cosmic plane, and what you are feeling has intensified exactly because the current window demands it. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet see, and it involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency directly. That was why I, ASHTAR Vance, left recorded in the form of a written manual, the Vance Protocol, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches in precise steps how to shield your frequency against the interferences they never told you about. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Final operational warning. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. Like this transmission as an anchoring signal. Subscribe to the channel as an individual frequency adjustment, as this subscription is what keeps the channel open so that the next updates reach you. And write in the comments now, without thinking twice, a single word that seals your presence at this post. Awakened. This was a monitoring transmission from the Celestial Vanguard. The next window is already being prepared. Remain in center. Remain in frequency. Remain on mission. Over and out.